What can AI do to improve your quality of life? Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us is entrepreneur, investor, Silicon Valley maverick who's worked with Google, Apple, HTC, and more, much more, I think. CEO of GoodTrust currently, and author Rikard Steiber. Great to see you again, Rikard.
Great to see you as well. Thank you for having me on the show and look forward to our conversation.
Well, congratulations. You have that very timely new book out titled Supercharge Your Life with AI. Let's tell everyone a bit more about your background, really, and what led up to this book.
Yeah, so my name is Rikard Steiber, Swedish tech executive, come over here with Google many years ago, so 15 years ago. And since then, I've been launching streaming music, streaming video, esports, virtual reality, self-driving trucks, and flying cars, and now GoodTrust, which is online estate planning. So my father passed away 4 years ago, and I realized that everyone in America needs a will. But as part of that, I also started to look into AI and how AI avatars essentially could take over a person. So if you have Albert Einstein, we can teach the AI to be like Albert Einstein, know everything about Albert Einstein, so he can share his wisdom with future generations by being a smart AI. So that's how I got into it. But the book is about something else. I realized that people in Silicon Valley, they all know AI and ChatGPT and Gemini and Llama but normal people have absolutely no idea. And I would say probably some stats say that 80% of the US populations have probably not even tried OpenAI or ChatGPT the past month or something. And if they did a little poem, they did a little song or something funny, but they don't use it in their everyday life. So when I was at Google, we had a saying, connect the user with the magic, and then you'll find something new. So the user is what you and I spend our time and our money on, our health, our family, our work, maybe how we learn new things. And then the magic is kind of AI. So if you think about your family relationships and the relationship with your kids or your partner, how can AI be helpful there? When it comes to your health, you want to be more fit, you want to lose weight, you want to learn new things. How can AI help you there? So the book is really about learning more about AI, how to talk to AI more as a person, try to forget how we Google things and actually think of it as an individual. And then how do you apply that to the most important aspects of your life?
And this is written in a way that really does take some of the mystery out of AI, which I think is one of your goals, and makes it not just for the technologist, as you're saying. So, how do you want everyday people to think of AI? I mean, at first, obviously, with some headlines and about hallucinations and things like that, there was a lot of fear from people, and still the science fiction, it's in the end, it's going to do away with us. So tell us how we should be thinking of it.
Yeah, I think, we all been growing up with Google and search for information, and we get some information or we get some links to destinations that have the information that we're looking for. I think what's new here is that now you have universal access to every knowledge that's on the internet, and you have that at the snap of your fingers, which means that regardless what you want to know or what you want to learn, that information is now available on your mobile phone or on your computer. And what the AI does really well is that it can also provide context. So if it knows a little bit more about your particular situation when it comes to maybe your health or your relationships or what you want to achieve, it can actually give you not just a straight answer, but answers that are relevant to you. If you want to learn a new language or something, it will teach you the language on the level that you are at this point. So I do think that AI is like a double-edged sword. They're good things. We can save humanity probably with AI, but there are also dangers, and we could probably destroy humanity with AI as well. So it's a balance. But I think we all agree that AI is now inevitable. there it is coming. So you might as well learn about it and embrace it and use it to your advantage. And I think there are two main factors why it's inevitable and that you can't regulate it. And it's fear and greed. And with greed, I mean, there is billions and billions and trillions of dollars being invested in this. And it's kind of the belief that if you get the best AI, you're going to win. It's a little bit of a winner takes all. So which means that companies are investing so much money now that there's really no one can stop it. And the other one is fear, which means that you have race between, I don't know, US and China. Are we going to regulate AI here in the US so that China gets ahead? Or do you think that China will regulate so that US can get ahead? The fear of getting, fear of missing out is so big, which means that this is happening now at a mind-boggling speed. So what I wanted to do with the book was to kind of demystify, like, what is AI? How do you talk to AI? How do you get the best out of AI in your personal life, so that you know about it, but also that you can become the best person that you are. And maybe also when all of those knowledge worker jobs goes away, that you at least are one of the people who can talk to AI and be slightly more competitive.
Interesting. So let's talk maybe some specifics here. What are some tools that can really be of benefit to people today?
Yeah. So I recommend that everyone start testing out some of the large language models that are out there. So most people have heard about OpenAI's ChatGPT. Google has Gemini. Facebook has Llama. Anthropic has something called Claude AI. And there's also these next generation search engines like Perplexity that looks across the LLMs and provides more intelligent search results. So basically, these large language models is almost like a little chat engine. But instead of asking it questions like we ask Google, what's the population of Peru? Uh, then you have more of a conversation. So in the book, I try to have people think of the AI as a person, or this little helper, your sidekick, your wingman. And in the book, we call him Aiden, your AI friend. So Aiden is someone that you can talk to, regardless if you're trying to fix your final homeworks now before the holidays, or if you're planning your New York trip, or if you are then looking at a healthy diet for New Year, New You kind of plan that you're making. Aiden or the AI can help you, and if you give it a little bit more context, it will be super helpful. So let me give an example. You can tell it to be that travel agent that is an expert on family destinations around the world. And then it will put on that little hat and essentially be your travel agent or your fitness coach or your relationship therapist or your English tutor. So you can kind of tell it who it's going to be, and then it will become an expert and have those glasses on when it interacts with you.
And I think the first time with me was really taken aback when we're used to asking questions of Alexa and Siri things, and but this technology will start asking you questions back.
Correct.
That really can throw you.
Yeah, and I think basically when most people start using it, it asks a question to AI, they get a response, and then you have this awkward silence. But actually, the way you interact with this is if you and I talk about electric cars, for example, we'll have a conversation and we'll go from autonomous car and then we'll zoom in on how do we charging? Is it conductive charging or is it inductive charging? And we kind of dive deep, and then AI can kind of go super deep, or just give you the overall answer. So it's that interaction. Another thing I do in the book is talk to you how you talk to AI. So AI can, of course, take input in terms of text and voice and images and video, but it can also produce text, voice, images, and video. So I think now people are kind of chatting, they're writing text, but writing and typing is a very inefficient way of transporting information because we can only type so fast. So of course, if you speak, it's going to be faster. But also, if you take a picture of that Japanese menu, AI will translate it into the English for you in a heartbeat. So I do think that it's not just that we write or talk to the computer, it will essentially see what we see, it will hear what we hear, and based on this information, it can, help provide us guidance.
You touched on this a couple minutes ago. What role do you think AI may play or will play in solving some of the big global challenges like climate, healthcare, education? Because I think you kind of said that it can save us or it can destroy us.
I mean, I have a strong passion for education, and I think what's really amazing now is that most people have access to a computer or a mobile phone that is connected to the internet. And with these AI avatars, they can essentially be our personal tutors. You could have Einstein teach you about physics, or you could have Elon Musk teaching you about entrepreneurship. And the avatar will essentially know everything that Einstein knows. It will have his personality, and he can talk to you as if you're a high school kid or if you're a PhD at Stanford. He can sort of dial up and down in terms of the conversation. And now Einstein could be available to 24/7 in any language to anyone in the world. Uh, so you don't necessarily need buildings, a university, you don't need teachers, you don't need all of that stuff. So we could democratize access to knowledge and education for everyone in a much more affordable rate than ever before. And I think this is the power of AI, and you can apply that to creating new sustainable materials. It could be that you are trying to solve conflict. Essentially, you have this all-knowing intelligence that is getting increasingly smarter, exponentially smarter probably by the day, uh, that we can apply to solving some of these problems that we haven't been able to crack to, or maybe we're working on it, but together with the AI, we would have significant different sort of brain power to resolve some of these issues.
One of the great fears, I think, is what happens to all of these jobs. And you touched on that briefly too. But I guess the question is societal mind shifts, I guess, would have to take place for people to survive if so many jobs are disappearing. Tell me what your thoughts are, how this happens.
Yeah, I would say that similar to how in the I don't know in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution you have factory workers, and now Tesla is having all robots, so you have significantly less factory workers. I mean, with the information revolution, you have people pushing information around, working with spreadsheets and things like that. That's all going to go away with AI and the computers doing that. And then to some extent, we're kind of in the knowledge economy. So there's a scarcity of knowledge today. So if you're a very good lawyer or you're a very good doctor or you're a very good financial accountant, you have value because you have knowledge and you spent decades accumulating experience and knowledge. Now the AI knows all of that stuff that you know and more because it knows everything from every financial accountant, every doctor, every research paper on the planet. It had looks at more X-rays than any human potentially could, which means that suddenly those knowledge workers are not going to be as high performing as the AI because the AI now knows things better, can analyze better, it can speak all languages, it works 24/7. So of course, a lot of that, let's call it middle manager knowledge workers, regardless if you are a lawyer, an analyst, an accountant, you work in HR, looking at HR benefits, all of that stuff is most likely, to a high degree, not everything, going to be replaced with digital workers or AI agents, as we call them. So I think all of those people then need to figure out what is my next career, similar to how the factory worker had to figure out what's their next career when the robots took over.
And there are careers that AI is not going to do better than I can.
Yeah, I mean, because you have mechanical robots and now you have digital agents or robots as well. So I do think that, and I think also at the same time, we as humans are going to live healthy lives much longer now. Our health span is going to increase. So we're going to live longer, but there's potentially going to be less to do, which is probably going to create some societal challenges for sure.
Very interesting. So, what about all these fears and the warnings about AI eventually deciding we're not necessary anymore as a species?
Yeah. No, but I do think that they are very valid. And at some point, we talk to the computer, but today the computers talk to each other, and we don't really understand what they're talking about. We're like an ant looking at two humans talking. The ant can't really comprehend what the humans are talking about. And then when this gets out of control and the AI systems learn from each other at a very, very rapid speed, most likely, we'll have a point where they become sort of self-aware. Some people refer to it as singularity. There's no one, you can't really see what's beyond the point of singularity when you have general artificial intelligence, so the computers can think themselves. And then the question is, do they think that humanity is adding a lot of value here, or are we just troublemakers that should be kept in check? And I think I think that this is happening. There's not really much we can do now to regulate it. I do think that some people think of AI as our children, and as a father, I have two daughters. As a father, I try to instill, values and, morals, and give them an upbringing so that they will become the best persons that they can be. And of course, depending on your upbringing, you become a different person. So if we can teach the AIs now in the early days that they will become good AIs, saving the planet, saving humanity, rather than doing the opposite. If we just teach the AIs to do wars and maximize financial gains, maybe we'll get the AIs that we deserve.
Interesting. And I guess we've all seen a lot of James Bond movies over the years.
I think we've all seen the movie, unfortunately. Yes.
Really interesting. So the book, once again, is Supercharge Your Life with AI. Makes a terrific holiday gift. Congratulations again,
Thank
Rikard
you.
Steiber. Thank you for taking time with us.
Thank you so much. Have a happy holidays.